Hey again, welcome to another Top 10 1980s movie list. In this list, I'm going to dig into teen movies. Now, what's a teen movie? Well, I guess it is what it sounds like, movies that target teenagers. Usually PG-13 or R-rated films for the most part. I guess it's not really a genre, but more of an age group or category, much like kids' movies. Granted that other genres of films can spill over into this category. So before I get into this, I just want to point out that I will not be including any horror films on this list.
You dick!
I actually plan on doing a separate top 10 list for that genre, so no slashers this time. With that said, let's get rolling with my top 10 teen movies of the 1980s. Starting off the list, we've got Weird Science, one of the many John Hughes Brat Pack flicks. So you've got Gary and Wyatt, two very timid and geeky boys who couldn't get a girl on a cold day in hell. So what do? They make their own girl using their amazing state-of-the-art computer and a Barbie doll. Yeah, doesn't get any more believable than that. But aside from the comedy there, it's really a very strange and fun movie. Anthony Michael Hall and Elan Mitchell Smith, who play Gary and Wyatt, are great at playing a couple of funny geeks. Kelly LeBrock, who plays Lisa, also does a good job. But you know, of all the characters in this film, my favorite has to be Chet. He is such an over-the-top dick that I can't help but laugh every time he's on screen. He reminds me a lot of Biff from Back to the Future, a jerk that you just love to hate. So yeah, if you can just put aside all logic, it's pretty fun to watch. Check it out. Number 9, Teen Wolf. This is probably the weirdest movie on this list. It basically teaches you that werewolves are the shit. In Teen Wolf, Scott, played by Michael J. Fox, discovers that he's a werewolf, and when he transforms into the wolf, he's able to do everything better, particularly play basketball. That's really all you need to know. Who would have figured that werewolves were such all-stars? I mean, is there something about all the hair that gives them superpowers? And I guess teenage girls had a thing for hairy guys at that time.
Wolves aren't supposed to be shy.
Come on, what is this, the 70s? It's such a goofy film, and it's funny to think that Michael J. Fox was doing this film at the same time he was doing Back to the Future. Watch this one with a friend so you can both say what the fuck at the same time.
Give me a keg of beer.
And these. What's happening, hot stuff?
Number 8, 16 Candles, another one of the Brat Pack. The plot here is very simple. A girl turns 16 and her family forgets. That's it. Nothing too elaborate story-wise, but the characters in this film are hilarious. Again, Anthony Michael Hall plays the perfect geek, and what's so funny is that he's like the big shot of all the geeks. He knows he's a wimp, yet he plays it off like he's some hotshot. It's great. But I really think the character that steals the show is the foreign exchange student Long Duk Dong, played by Getty Watanabe, if I pronounce that correctly. Just off the bat, he draws a laugh with a name like that. He's just so off the wall and animated.
Oh, no more Yankee, my wanky. The donga need food.
Nearly every quoted line comes from his character. He's just funny as hell.
Where is my automobile?
Automobile?
Overall, the story is so-so, nothing special, and pretty cliche and predictable. It's really the humor that makes this film a solid favorite and earns its place on my list.
Oh, sexy girlfriend! Manzai! Oh, hey, what's this I see? I thought this was a party! Let's dance!
Kick off your Sunday shoes, Footloose comes in at number 7. In the 80s, there were quite a few dance movies like Footloose. Flashdance and Dirty Dancing are two other big ones that come to mind. It was like a genre of its own. You knew right away what you were getting into. I mean, look at the opening credits scene. All you see are shoes tapping to music. If that's not an indication, then I don't know what is. In Footloose, a city boy named Ren and his family moved to a small town where rock music and dancing are banned. I know, it's pretty ridiculous to think about. But the acting is really good and the dance scenes are fantastic. One of my favorite scenes is a montage where Ren is trying to teach Willard how to dance with the song Let's Hear It for the Boy playing. And this brings up a good point. This film has easily one of the best soundtracks. If I could only pick 2 soundtracks from the 80s, I'd probably grab this one and the Top Gun soundtrack, and I'd be set. All of the music is great in this film. I'm particularly a fan of the 2 Kenny Loggins tracks. Speaking of Kenny Loggins, I think this might be the only movie that plays the same song 3 different times throughout the movie. You hear Footloose during the intro credits, during the nightclub scene, and at the end. Maybe they just didn't want you to forget the title of the movie. I don't know. Anyhow, I said before the acting was good. Kevin Bacon plays his role really well, and actually, I'd probably say this is one of his best films of all time. Aside from him, you've got Christopher Penn, Laurie Singer, John Lithgow, Diane West, and even a young Sarah Jessica Parker, who are all great in this. If you like Flashdance or Dirty Dancing, check this one out. But just don't let the neighbors catch you dancing in front of your TV.
Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut Footloose.
Coming in at number 6 is Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, if you think you know what a nerd is, then by all means watch this movie. It takes the term nerd and brings it to about the most stereotypical level there is. I mean, these guys aren't just nerds. They're like the most uber nerds you've ever seen, assorted in a variety of flavors. As the title goes, this movie is about their revenge. Against who, you ask? The jocks, of course. It makes sense. They're about as opposite as you get. So yeah, the college jocks are basically harassing the freshman nerds, and the basic plot revolves around the nerds seeking their revenge. It doesn't get more simple than that. Now let me just say something about the jocks. Like the nerds, the jocks are extremely stereotypical. I mean, now that I think about it, nearly every character in this movie comes right out of a cartoon. I'm surprised a comic book called Nerds vs. Jocks doesn't exist.
Excuse, please, but why do they call you Booger?
I don't know.
All in all, it's a pretty funny movie. It may not change my perspective on nerds, but it's definitely full of laughs. Give it a whirl.
She's a nice girl.
Big deal. Did you get in her pants?
She's not that kind of a girl, Booger.
Why? Does she have a penis?
You gonna eat this?